The next concept that we're going to talk about is that of types of forces. So basically there are two types of forces, conservative and non-conservative forces. Now what exactly are we talking about? Let me go a little bit in depth. So first I'm going to define the forces. First I'm going to give the definition of conservative. What is a conservative force? Consider a force which is of the type Fx. Let me just give it in a simple way. Let's consider some force which is making a body move. The best example is this. If we have, as explained earlier in the earlier chapter videos, that if I have to lift this mass by a distance h, then I'll have to apply a force which is equal to mg in the upward direction. And since both this displacement and this is in the same direction, the work done by this force is going to be mgh. This is the work done by external force. But work done by gravity in this was told to you, work done by gravity is minus mgh. Simply because gravity, the force of gravity, Fg we can call it, is same as mg and it is acting in downward direction. The force and displacement are in opposite direction, work done is negative. Now let us say this has reached over here. That means this is the position of the particle now, and now it comes down. So this mass is dropped. If this mass is dropped, it will solely fall due to gravity. That means the only force acting at that point of time is gravity. Now in that case, let's call this point 1, let's call this point 2. So work done from point 1 to 2, to take it from 1 to 2 is minus mgh, and work done to bring it from 2 to 1 is mgh. In either of the case, I am talking about force of gravity. So the force of gravity is doing this kind of work. The interesting part over here is, let us say that we have taken it this way to a height h, we have taken it this way to a height h, and if we are taken this way, so we have got three paths, part 1, part 2 and path 3. So this is the initial position, this is the final position. In all the three cases, the displacement that is done is h. That means the work done in all the three cases would be same. That means work done in 1, work done in 2 and work done in 3 would be same. So this is an example of conservative force. Example of conservative force is gravity, Coulombic attraction or repulsion, Coulombic force. Third example we could give is spring force. This is something that I have just discussed. So looking at this, I can clearly now define conservative force. Conservative force could be defined as that force which does work, and we can say that the work done in this case, work done by conservative force, CF is conservative force, is independent of the path followed. This word is very important. So here you can see that they were taken by all three paths, but the path didn't matter. Ultimately what mattered is the initial and final position. This was the initial position, this was the final position. So here I can continue the definition. Work done by conservative forces independent of the path followed and is solely dependent on initial and final position. It's just dependent on initial and final position. So that is how we define this particular conservative force. Now, if in a certain situation path does matter for the object, then that particular force is called non-conservative force. Let me give you an example of that as well. So in this particular case, what I'm going to consider is, let's consider a non-conservative force. The best example of a non-conservative force is a frictional force. Let us say that this is the mass, and due to some force, the mass is moving in this particular direction. There is an external force which is pushing the object and making it move in this particular direction. And now let me say that because the object is moving in this direction, it will experience some kind of friction. Now in NLM, Newton's laws of motion, we have studied that the friction force is given as mu n. In this case, we could consider it as mu mg as the force. Now if mu mg is the force which is acting in the backward direction, while the object is moving from here to here in this particular path, I would say that the work done by friction is given as F dot S. Now you can clearly see both are in opposite direction. If both are in opposite direction, theta is 180 degrees, and I would write minus mu mg into S, where S is the displacement. Now you consider this object coming back. If the object is coming back in this particular direction, let us say now the object is coming back, or maybe some force, it had gone from position 1 to position 2, now it is coming from 2 to 1. So if it is coming in this direction due to some force reacting like this, the friction now would act this way, because friction is always opposite to the motion. So this is a work done from 1 to 2. Work done from 2 to 1, if you see, is going to be F into S again. But this time around, the force, that is the friction force, and the displacement, both are in the opposite direction. So again I would be able to write mu mg into S as the work done. So in either of the case, what I'm getting is the work done is going to stay the same. That means if I sum up this work plus this work, there is some work being done and which is not equal to 0. However, if you observed in the last case of conservative forces, work done by gravity to take it from here to here was minus mgh, that is position A to position B was minus mgh, and work done from B to A was mgh. So if you add both of them, what we get is work done from A to B plus work done from B to A turns out to be 0. So there is another conclusion that we can make regarding the conservative and non-conservative forces is that in a round trip, so this is called a round trip, the object going from A to B and then coming from B to A. So in a round trip, work done by conservative force is always equal to 0. However, work done by non-conservative force in a round trip is definitely not equal to 0, and I have shown you with an example.